Good morning. Have you ever been doing something very ordinary and suddenly thought to yourself, oh my goodness, I've become my dad, or perhaps your mum? It happened to me quite recently, not because I looked anything like my dad, not because I was wearing the same sort of clothing. It was because I caught myself doing something that he used to do, something that used to drive me mad when I was young. And suddenly, I understood him. I realised perhaps that we all carry a little bit of our parents with us, even when we think that we're completely different. So in this video, I want to explore some of the reasons that that might be the case. When I was growing up, my dad used to love the countryside. He liked animals, he liked country shows, he liked birds, he liked dogs. He liked stopping to look at things. And that was the problem for me. We could be walking somewhere and he would suddenly stop. There might be a bird in a tree, a horse in a field, a tractor in the distance. Didn't really matter to him. He'd just stop and look, and I would be standing there thinking, come on, Dad, let's get moving. I wanted to get on with the day. I wanted to see what was next. I didn't want to stand beside a field looking at some random bird. Then there were the people that we met. We could be walking along and he would see somebody he knew, or perhaps somebody he'd never met before, and he would stop and talk about the weather, the countryside, the dogs, farming, anything at all really. And there was me waiting, looking at my watch, wondering how long this was all going to take. And as a child, I thought it was all a waste of time. I didn't understand why he could not simply just keep walking, because there was always somewhere to go, something to do, something else that I needed to be. My dad didn't see it that way. He wasn't in a rush. He noticed things, he spoke to people, and he took his time. And at the time, I thought he was just being slow. I didn't realise he was enjoying the moment. That part came later, much later. Fast forward many years, and I parked up one morning to walk the dogs. I just got out of the truck. A chap I'd never met before came over and he started talking to me about the spaniels. So we talked about the dogs, then walking, then the countryside, then the weather. Nothing unusual. Just a normal chat really, and we talked for 5 or 10 minutes, I suppose. We wished each other a good day, and then we just went our separate ways. But as I walked away, here's what hit me. I thought to myself, that was my dad. That was exactly what my dad used to do. He would meet somebody, he would stop, he would talk, he would take his time. And now I was doing exactly the same thing as him. I was the bloke standing in the woods talking to a stranger about dogs. Now that was strange enough, but then another thought came to me. When I was young, I thought those men were old. The men my dad used to talk to, they just seemed old to me. But this chap was probably about my age. Perhaps he was even a little bit younger, perhaps a little bit older. And I was now looking at him in the same way as I once looked at my dad. But I was the older man. I was the one stopping to talk. I was the one who didn't need to rush off somewhere. And that really made me think. Age sneaks up on you. You don't always feel different. You still feel like yourself. But then you catch your reflection in a window. Or you hear yourself using one of your parents' old phrases, or find yourself stopping to talk about dogs in these woods. And there it is. You realise that time has moved on and you've become the age you once thought was old. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm still my own man. I've made my own choices. I have my own life. I spent 22 years in the army, as I've said before. And I've done things that my dad never did. I've done karate, scuba diving, running, photography, started this channel, shooting. My dad didn't plan my life for me. He didn't tell me what I had to become. He simply lived his own life. And I watched him. And that's the part that I understand now. Parents don't always shape us with big speeches. They don't always sit us down and give us advice. Sometimes they just show us how they live. My dad loved the countryside. So do I. He liked country music. So do I. He loved dogs. Well, anyone who watches this channel knows where that went. He liked stopping to talk, and I do that now. He liked looking at things, a bird, a view, a field, a horse, and I do that now as well. But that doesn't mean I have become him completely. I'm still Dave, I still make my own calls, and I still have my own views, and I still get things wrong. I still choose my own path. The difference is that I now see where some of my choices came from. I don't copy my dad. I didn't wake up one morning and decide to become him. It just happened slowly. His example stayed with me, I guess, and his way of looking at the world stayed with me. The things he enjoyed became part of my life. Not all of them. Some of them were never for me, but enough of them were. And I think that's true for most people. We become a mix of our own choices and the things that we saw when we were young. Sometimes we fight against it. Sometimes we laugh at it. And sometimes we only notice it when we're standing in a wood talking to a stranger about dogs. I think I got my dad wrong when I was young. I thought he was wasting time. I thought he was being slow, and I thought he should get on with things. But now I understand. He wasn't wasting time. He was simply using it. He was noticing the world around him. He was talking to people. He was enjoying a simple day. There was no rush, no need to fill every single waking minute. No need to be somewhere else. That's something that I understand much better now. I guess the older I get, the less I want to rush. Oh, I've still got things to do. I still like being active. I still like making plans. But the thing is, I don't need to chase every minute. Sometimes a short chat is enough. Sometimes looking at a bird up in a tree, that's enough. Sometimes standing beside a field with the dogs, as we are now, is enough. And since losing my dad, I think about this even more often. I miss him. There are things I'd like to tell him now. I'd like to say, Dad, I get it now. I understand why you stopped. I understand why you talk to people. And I understand why you looked across this countryside. And I understand why you were not always in a rush. As a child, I didn't understand. As a man, I do. And that makes me smile, because perhaps becoming a little bit more like your parents is not such a bad thing. Perhaps it means some part of them is still walking with you. So, have you ever caught yourself doing something your dad or your mum used to do? Perhaps use one of their old phrases. Perhaps you stop and talk to people. Perhaps you enjoy the same places. Or perhaps you have even started to understand them at last. If you have, leave your story down in the comments. I would genuinely like to read them. So good morning. Thank you for walking with me. And whatever you do next, don't slow down. Come on, girls.